Good. Hi, my name is Sean Nixon. Today I'll be talking about 3 different types of bleeding. This is my daughter Lily. She'll be my assistant to help me for the demonstration. There are 3 different types of bleeding. You get capillary, which is what you get when you fall down, skin your knee on your bike, get a paper cut, put a rag on, a band-aid, you're good to go. Venal is a little more serious, a little bit more blood, but it's not really too serious. Most times you just put in 5 to 10 minutes of manual pressure, which manual pressure is demonstrated by using like a shirt, and you just press down, not too hard, but kind of hard, for about 10-15 minutes. Usually the bleeding will stop or subside, or you just put a bandage on it. Our arterial is what I really want to focus on today, because a lot of people don't know how to actually treat for it and do it properly. So with arterial bleeding, it's going to be a lot of blood kind of gushing out in spurts, almost rhythmatic to your heartbeat. So it'll be spurting out like you do a ketchup bottle. And another way to tell is it's also a bright red blood instead of darker blood, which would be your venal or capillary. And the reason it's bright red is because it's oxidized and comes straight from the heart. First and foremost, if you do come to an arterial bleed, you are going to need to probably do a tourniquet. It's probably the best method to do, because you can have a tourniquet on for up to 3 to 4 hours, and a medical person would still be able to take it off and save the leg. In this case, at least the leg. Alright, so when you're given a tourniquet, you want to go above or below the joint, and roughly 2 to 3 inches away from the actual bleeding itself, or above. So in this case, say the bleeding is right here. Alright, so I use myself, nobody has a ruler in their pocket, so I use about 3 fingers. If you got smaller hands, use 4. Really smaller than mine anyway. You do about 3 inches over. You try and save the joint if you can, so if you don't need to put it above the joint, don't do it. Pretty sure that person would love to keep their kneecaps. So what you do is, I got my preset. You just slide it over, carefully with the leg. And all you do, cinch it down. I'm not gonna do it to full tightness, because I don't want to cut off the bleeding. But you just Velcro it on. Give it a couple of twists to tighten it up. Is it tight? Yeah. Good. Let me know when it's tight. Is that good? Okay. And then you got a little Velcro strip over here. Yeah. You hook it in and go right across the top. Now that that's done, and you keep twisting until the bright red bleeding stops. Now all the bleeding will never stop. You always have like a little bit of oozing with the dark red blood. And with that, you treat it like a venal wound. You just grab a shirt or a pressure dressing. You apply it directly over the wound. You use probably 10 to 15 minutes of pressure. Keep it over it, and you're good to go. Also want to go over some home remedy stuff you can do, because not everybody has access to equipment like tourniquets, pressure dressings, and everything else. So I'm going to show you how to do a tourniquet without actually having a tourniquet. Alright, I'm using what's called a pressure dressing. You can use a shop towel or a thin towel, or even a shirt. All you got to do is you take it, do the longest sections, do a quick little roll, slide it underneath. You never want to do it directly over the open wound, so a little bit off to the side or over. Do a quick little over under like you do on your shoes right before you make the bunny ears. Do that. Me, I'm using a flathead screwdriver. Most everybody has those. If not, get a stick from outside. That'll work too. Put it on top. Tie another knot over that. And this one you do a double knot. Make sure it doesn't move anywhere. And all you do is twist it in the same fashion you did with the actual tourniquet. Now once it's tight, is that too tight? And once it's tight, right there. If you have enough left over, you can wrap it around and tie it back onto itself. Me personally, I just use any type of tape you can find. Go over it and just tape it around. That way it doesn't move or slip. And with a tourniquet, you want to check it every 5 or 10 minutes to make sure the tourniquet hasn't moved and that there's no additional bleeding that's coming out. And also, when you apply a tourniquet, it's always smart and a good idea to, if the casualty is awake, have them keep the time when the tourniquet was put on. If not, get yourself like a piece of paper, or if they're unconscious, you can even write on their forehead. And the way to do it is, I'm not actually going to write on my daughter's forehead, but what you do is, face over please, what you do is you put a T right on their forehead, and then you mark the time and date when you put the tourniquet right underneath the cross part of the T. So that way when the medical staff arrives, they know when the tourniquet's been applied and how much time they have before, so they can save the leg or limb, whatever it may be. And I also like to get rid of a myth that they have when it comes to dealing with bleeding. When it comes to bleeding and just trying to stop bleeding or whatever else, a lot of people think that tying something like this around it a whole bunch of times is the best way to go. What you're actually doing is you're putting an involuntary tourniquet on it. So if you're going to do something for venal or capillary, all you do, I'm going to demonstrate with this and a t-shirt. All you do is you wad it up just like this. It's real sloppy, but it actually works the best. Put it directly on, and then you wrap something around it once or twice, and then you tie it off. You never want to tie the knot directly over the wound unless you're doing strictly a pressure dressing. And that's the only time you'll ever put a knot over the top. And here's an actual pressure dressing. Put it over the wound, tie it around. Just keep going around and around and around. And it's elastic, so it's designed to get tighter as you go around. If you don't have a pressure dressing, you do the same thing with either wow, I should correct it. You do the same thing with an ACE wrap. ACE wrap can do the same thing. You just put a towel or something else in there, then you hook it closed. And here's your pressure dressing. Here's your tourniquet, and that's all I got. Thank you.